क्योंकि अपन रिकॉर्डिंग कर रहे भाई।
वो यूट्यूब
ना टेस्ट रिकॉर्डिंग।
अरे ट्रायल માટે यार,
ट्रायल रिकॉर्डिंग, ट्रायल। ओके, कहाँ से स्टार्ट करेंगे भाई? फर्स्ट चैप्टर से स्टार्ट करें। ये कर्टन थोड़ा ऐसे कर लो ना। चलो पिक्चर चालू। ओके, कल हमने क्या किया था? परसेंटेज अनसर्टेनिटी, है ना? एक बार मैंने करवाया था, बट किसी को सीखना है क्या? नहीं? Okay, so let's say that pressure of anything is given by force upon area, right? Let's say हम लोग फ्राइंग कर रहे हैं, एक बीकर है, right? इसमें we have been given the density. हाँ चलो ऐसा लेते हैं, स्क्वायर रूट और ये सब चाहिए तो समझ लो कि let's say there is a quantity q, right? It is given by a b raised to power 2 c cube root, okay, upon d cube, let's say, right? It is given that a is equal to 8 plus or minus 0.1 units, b is equal to 6.6 plus or minus 0.1 units, c is equal to 25.5 plus or minus 0.2 units, and let's say d is equal to, कोई बोलो नंबर यार, कोई 59.2 प्लस और माइनस 0.3, है ना? This is given. Let's say for example they have asked you to find what is delta q and what is q in the form of absolute plus or minus its uncertainty units. Okay, this is what you have to fill. So first of all, simply use the formula to find out the value of q. So what I'll do, I'll write 8 multiplied by 6.6 whole square upon d. What is d? 59.2, है ना, multiplied by, yes, cube, and 25.5 cube root, right? So what is the value of d here?
4.94 into 10 power minus 3.
So you get d is equal to 4.94 into 10 to the power
minus 3.
भाई इतना छोटा नंबर,
एक बार d के लिए
क्वांटिटी q,
right?
right?
59.2 ले लेंगे,
right? Okay, now let's say I need to now find delta q. Okay, what will I do? I'll say that delta q upon q into 100, what is this? Percentage uncertainty in q is equal to, looking at the formula, delta a by a into 100, right, plus delta b by b into 100, and b was whole square, so 2 here, plus delta c by c into 100, right? Here this was cube root, so 1 by 3, and plus delta d by d into 100, this was q
into 3.
No,
all certainties are
all uncertainties are added. Now because 100 is common everywhere, so what I will do, cancel out from everywhere, right? You already know the value of q, है ना? We've just found out the value of q here, क्या था?
4.94 into 10 to the power minus 3.
है ना? 4.94 into 10 to the power minus 3 was your q, right? So what you will do, delta q find हो सकता है यहाँ से, है ना? So I will write 4.94 plus or minus whatever whole bracket into 10 to the power minus 3 units. दोनों के लिए लिखते हैं, जनरली ऐसा करना चाहिए, so it makes sense that they are similar units or whatever, है ना? This is absolute, delta q is absolute uncertainty if I, instead of cancelling out all of these 100, if I just take the total of the right hand side, then it is percentage uncertainty in Q. Is this understandable? है ना? Okay. Now
एब्सोल्यूट से परसेंटेज में कन्वर्ट करना तो उनको उसको into 100 कर देना
upon original value into 100. For example, तूने प्रेशर फाइंड किया 100 पास्कल, उसमें तेरा एरर है 1 पास्कल, तो 1 अपॉन 100 इंटू 100 करेगा.
1%.
ओरिजिनल वैल्यू का कितना परसेंट है वो होता है. ठीक है, चलिए नेक्स्ट. और ठीक है, नेक्स्ट व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक टेक्स्ट बुक में? अगर हम क्रोनोलॉजिकल ऑर्डर से जाएं तो व्हाट विल बी द नेक्स्ट? उसमें कुछ रिवीजन की जरूरत है? एडिशन एंड सब्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ vectors. See, because vectors, right, they are traveling problem. So if you understand it from the point of view of math, let's say this is your vector A and this is your vector B, right, and this is your vector C, then C is equal to A plus B, right? Is this understandable? है ना? Now C is also known as the resultant. What do you do? So if this is your active force and this is your active force, then the resultant force, if addition of both of these, then it starts at the starting of the first force, ends at the ending of the last force. For example, 5 force लग रहे थे, तो A, B, C, let's say D force is like this, and let's say E force is like this. Okay, then your resultant is this. Okay, is this understandable? So let's say if there was subtraction of force, now this is C, they have asked you find D is equal to A minus B. So what would you do? You would draw minus B like this, and you would draw this D. So D is equal to A minus B. है ना? So vector in a way addition is equal to subtraction. They are not different. Okay, what is a vector? Something that has direction as well as magnitude. है ना? Okay. Anything else here? Sure. Okay. So yesterday, I think most of you were there, but still मैं ये question करवा रहा हूँ. So there is a ball of mass 0.2 kilogram, right? It has a velocity of 0.4 meters per second. This is a snooker ball, and after collision with the table, it starts going in this direction with a velocity of 0.3 meters per second. You have to find out the change in momentum. How would you do this? How would you find? Okay, so let's find the momentum of this thing. The momentum is 0.08 kg meters per seconds. है ना? Here the momentum is 0.06 kg meters per second. So what is your change in momentum? 0. Which is incorrect. Pythagoras, because this is a vector. Now what you would have to do is you'd have to join these two vectors, right? This was your vector A and this is your vector B. So sad. લઈ લે ચેર ત્યાં બેસી જા. So you would have to draw here vector C. See, when can you guess that here you had to use Pythagoras? Because the vector is changing direction by 90 degree. When it does so, we have taken conservation of momentum, right? We have been taught that momentum questions are generally solved through conservation of momentum. Now what is happening? It does not have any momentum in horizontal direction anymore. है ना? So change in momentum is this much. Horizontal change in momentum is this much. And vertical change in momentum is directly this much. There is no conservation taking place. तो कहीं ना कहीं कुछ change हुआ है, right? So you cannot in this question by consideration of conservation of momentum, find it out.
Sir, if
Okay, next,
components.
components of a vector, है ना? तो components of a vector के लिए what we will do, let's say this is your x plane, sorry, this is your y plane and this is your x plane. Let's say that this is your vector v, right? So this much is the value of y and this much will be your value of x, right? What is this? This is projection of vector. Let's say मैंने एक ladder रखी है यहाँ पर, okay? चलिए, let's get back. Okay, so this is your x and this is your y, right? So it is like as if मैंने एक lamp रखा है, okay? Let's say there is a stick, okay? और यहाँ पे एक lamp है. So if this is a stick, it will have a shadow here, right? And if I keep a lamp here and switch off this lamp, this stick will have a shadow here. So the projection of vector is nothing but the length of the shadow, right? So what is the length of that shadow and what is the length of this shadow? Basically all you have to do is find out the, if this is your angle theta, the angle of your vector, right? You have to find out the value of y and x, right? Sin theta is y by, let's say this is your v, right? So y by v, therefore v sin theta is your y component, है ना? And v cos theta in the same way is your x component, right? Let's take an example, है ना? So let's say that there is a plank here, okay? I am applying force at an angle of 58 degree, a force of let's say 60 Newton to the plank, right? How much of this force is pushing the plank upwards and how much of this force is pushing the plank rightwards? To find that out, what will I do? I will say that let's say at this point the forces are applied in two directions, right? One is like this, the other one is like this, correct? This force is nothing but the horizontal component, the x you have taken here, right? So it should be v times, sorry, v times
force is the horizontal component.
this one.
Okay.
Horizontal is horizontal, है ना? Horizontal એટલે સુઈ ગયું હોય horizontal, sleeping is horizontal, okay? So v cos theta, right? This should be v cos theta. What is v? V is 60, so 60 cos 58, 31.8 Newton, right? And this one should be 60 sine 58, 50 Newton, है ना? Any doubt still here? Sure? इससे related कोई question छोड़
Work
चाल
done
से.
equals to Fs cos theta.
Okay, let's take that into consideration. So
समझना है.
let's consider this plank only, right? So sorry. This is still 60 Newton. What was the upward force, guys? 50.88, है ना? 50.88 Newton was the upward force, right? And due to this force, this plank is moved, let's say 8 meter, okay? What is the work done by this force on this plank? You would write simply 50.88 into 8, right? What will be your answer?
407.
407 joule. नहीं आ रहा 400 पर? तो
इसने लॉग 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 कुछ करा वो देख.
अच्छा, what is the force in क्या? What is the force in this direction?
31.
Into क्यों? नहीं मूव हो रहा है ना भाई, અહીંયા જ रहे, नहीं मूव हो रहा है, ठीक है? ओके, So let's say that this in this direction it was moved 3 meter. Okay, so in that case you will have 31.8
into 3.
95.4.
joule of work is done.
सर 31.8 क्या दिया है?
Pellada.
Cos theta, 60 cos theta. Right now what happens is that first thing we consider is work is only done when the displacement is in the direction of force. Okay, यहाँ पे दोनों डायरेक्शन में दोनों वर्क हो रहा है, उसमें कोई क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है. बट वो एफ एस cos theta का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, राइट, it simply is that if this is my direction of motion and this is my direction of force, then the work done is zero. Why? Because work is not done in the direction of motion. For example, मैं तेरे को धक्का मार रहा हूँ, तू मेरे को मार रहा है, पर पीछे मैं ही जा रहा हूँ, तो am I doing some work? No. Opposite direction, right? So I cannot say I'm doing some work. Obviously I'm using some energy, chemical energy, waste हो रही है ना, but I'm not doing any work in that. You are, है ना? कितना resultant force find करके करना पड़ेगा. So until unless the work done is in the direction of force, we say that work is not done by that force. वर्क हो रहा है, कोई और फोर्स कर रहा है, बट ये वाला नहीं कर रहा है. ठीक है. नाउ therefore your work, basically work done is only if the angle between displacement and force is within the range of 0 to 90, है ना? So we have to multiply it with a quantity that has at 90 it becomes 0. So cos 90 is 0, right? Is this understandable? Okay, exactly ये नहीं है, बट ऐसा ही कुछ है. Yes.
तो ये जो forces
Actually
है,
एक सेकेंड, fs cos theta कहां से आया? This is a dot product of two vectors. When there is a dot product of two vectors you multiply cos theta. When there is a cross product of two vectors you multiply sin theta. ठीक है? हाँ.
sin theta क्या है सर?
When it is a cross product.
cross product क्या?
क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट क्या होता है? What was I saying? हाँ, तो क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट cos theta dot product. क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट कब? सिंपल याद रखो in terms of physics that if the resultant quantity is a scalar then you have a cross product. If the resulting quantity is a vector you have a, sorry,
Dot product.
if the resulting quantity is a scalar it's a dot product. If the resulting quantity is a vector it's a cross product. dot product का example पता चल गया, वर्क डन, है ना? क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट का एग्जांपल क्या होगा? क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट का एग्जांपल होगा अपना जनरेटर या मोटर, है ना? You had current which is a vector, right? You had direction of magnetic field which is a vector. Then you have motion which is velocity or
Which is also
acceleration which is again a vector.
સર તો આમાં આપ આ સ્કેલર છે.
વર્ક ડન સ્કેલર છે,
ડાયરેક્શન માટે કરે છે.
વર્ક ડન સ્કેલર છે ને, વર્ક ડન સ્કેલર છે, ફોર્સ અને ડિસ્પ્લેસમેન્ટ તો
એ
વેક્ટર
vector
છે.
ઓકે વેક્ટર. હા હા મેમે કરાયેલું વેક્ટર ઇન્ટુ વેક્ટર સ્કેલર છે.
क्रॉस में साइन है.
તો તમને લાગે છે IGCSE ના ક્વેશ્ચન પૂછે?
नेक्स्ट आई थिंक वी शुड डू अ क्वेश्चन जिसमें स्लोप है. बहुत सारे लोग गलती कर रहे हो उसमें. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? है ना? ओके, सो लेट्स से मेरे को क्वेश्चन देना पड़ेगा, ये क्वेश्चन बनाना डिफिकल्ट है. हाँ हाँ काटो काटो भाई, फोन में भी ओपन कर सकते हो. क्वेश्चन दो मेरे को, स्लोप वाला क्वेश्चन चाहिए. स्लोप पे कार जा रही है. हाँ लाओ लाओ लाओ, मेरे को आता था ना वो.
आपको आता था?
सर वीक स्टूडेंट.
हाफ वीक हाफ वीक हाफ हाफ. We have a question. मैं क्वेश्चन रीड कर रहा हूँ. A car of mass 1400 kilogram 1400 kilogram is traveling in a straight line, straight horizontal road at a constant speed of 25. So first it is traveling like this. It is of 1400 kilogram and it is traveling at 25 meters per second. Then it is said that the output power from the car's engine is 30 kilowatt. Okay. The car then travels up a slope 2 degree. Okay, so let's say it travels, so this is 2 degree, it travels a slope of 2 degree, again it wants to keep the velocity constant, है ना? What is the output power of car's engine? तो total output power कितना होगा, है ना? So for that first find out कितना force चाहिए होगा, okay, how much force is required by the car to do this. So what can you do? You have
FP.
mass and velocity, but Fv is equal to power करके यहाँ से force find करो, है ना?
32/3 divided by 225.
क्या आएगा?
1200.
है ना? 1200 न्यूटन आएगा. 1200 न्यूटन में लेट्स से कार इज गोइंग लाइक दिस, राइट? नाउ उसको 1200 तो कंटिन्यू ही करना है. इट मस्ट कीप दिस 1200 न्यूटन ऑफ फोर्स कांस्टेंट, है ना? बट इट मस्ट हैव सम एक्स्ट्रा फोर्स दैट हेल्प्स इट टू क्लाइंब दिस प्लैंक, है ना? 2 डिग्री का स्लोप. For that, let's say the mg of the car is here, right? So what extra work will it do? वो जो friction of tire whatever, it's already going beyond that, है ना? Extra work is done to overcome this downward component of the weight, है ना? Downward component of the weight here is mg sin theta. Whenever you have a slope, the horizontal one becomes sine theta and the vertical one becomes cos theta. So this will be your mg
Cos theta.
cos theta. Okay, mg cos theta. So what is the value of mg sine theta? 1400 into 9.81 into sine 2. Please make sure that 2 is in degree.
79.
What? 480.
79.
Radians.
480 Newton, right? So this much extra force is required by the car, है ना? So what is the total force required by the car? 1680 Newton, है ना? Multiplied by the velocity, it must keep 25. तो 1680 into 25 क्या आता है?
42 kilowatts.
See, correct.
42,000, which is 42 kilowatt.
So, question on finances will you ask?
So question is not asking that how much force is required. Question is asking what is the output power of the engine of the car. So force multiplied में तेजे equation मैंने की थी, अपने ये नहीं multiply करी,
Why did we use force?
because it is a slope. You want me like किसी को और को भी डाउट हो तो मैं थोड़ा सिखा दूं कि क्यों वो साइन है वो कॉस है,
हाँ सर, ये कर
है ना? मेरे पास 6 बजे तक का टाइम है तो वी कैन कंटिन्यू. So let's say this is a inclined plane, right? They have given this angle is theta, right? So let's say this is your object, this is the direction of its weight, which is mg, right? This is the direction perpendicular to the plane, this is the direction horizontal, like parallel to the plane, right? Let's say this is your x and this is y, right? This x and y will depend on what angle this is, correct? Right? Because I just said these two lines are parallel and this this is ground, right? So this line has to be perpendicular 90. So this angle has to be 90 minus theta. See, actually what it should be, if this is your triangle, this is your 90 degree, this is your theta, right? And this is your x. So 90 plus theta plus x should be equal to 180 degree, right? This should be, therefore x should be equal to 90 minus theta, है ना? So this is 90 minus theta. Now let's say, so this should be, let's say this is force F, right? It is horizontal, so it should be F cos theta and this should be F sin theta, right? But instead of theta, shall I write x? Shall I write x? Is this understandable? What is the value of x? So this is F cos 90 minus theta, and this is f sine 90 minus theta. What is sine 90 minus theta?
Cos.
So this will be sine
Sine and then
theta, and this will be f cos theta.
So whenever there's a slope, the horizontal is sine cos and the vertical is sine.
Correct.
अगर
Understandable?
नीचे time करता है तो अपन same.
हाँ, even if the body is, see, now what will happen here, guys? If यहाँ तक understandable है? Okay. Let's say, let's select this much. इसमें थोड़ा मनन ने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा है, so let's, shit, clone यहीं पे हो गया. Okay, question, Manan has asked a question, let's try to solve that. What happens, so considering body is going up or down, क्या होगा, right? So let's say this is your f sin theta now, है ना, and this is your f cos theta, right? Let's say the body is going upwards, right? So the force, let's say this is w, okay? So the actual force that is used to just go up is w minus f sin theta, right?
Yes. This will.
है ना? But if it is going down, let's say in another scenario, this body, ये मैं हर बार थोड़ा ज्यादा ही स्लोप बनाने लगा, है ना? Let's say this is, instead of going up, it is going down with w force, and there is already a force f sin theta.
W plus.
So this will be w plus f sin theta, है ना? Considering there is no friction. If there is friction, तो यहाँ पे minus f and minus f, because friction is always opposite. So whatever direction it is going, always subtract the friction.
So f sin theta is always acting downwards.
अगर box arms है तो
नीचे
हाँ, this is when it is going down, right? This is the direction of motion, and in this one, this is the direction of motion. Next, हाँ पूछ.
so आज सिनेरियो में f cos theta को इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं करे इसलिए आंसर से
In both of these scenarios, f cos theta does not make any change to velocity or the force applied. This will, like, f cos theta is useful when you are considering rolling and all of those things, but right now you don't have to. Okay?
એક એક્ઝામ્પલ આપો જ્યારે f cos theta પર
ભણવાનું જ નથી. Okay, क्या हुआ? कौन बातें कर रहा है पीछे? नहीं, you wanted to ask something, is ठीक है. कौन सा 13, 14, 15?
वैन वाला
So Nitish has a question, right? This is a question of moments. This is from the worksheet we have, है ना? Van draw नहीं आती मेरे को, तो this is how it is. These are the two wheels of the van. Okay, this distance is 0.400 meter. Okay, this distance is 0.600 meter, right? वो नहीं पता मेरे को. This is 1.500 meter, right? भाई ये चला गया. हाँ, MCQ, MCQ. What is the upward force here, Nitish?
upward force is 16,000 newton
16,000 न्यूटन, एंड यहाँ पर
9,000
9,000 न्यूटन. ठीक है, अब क्वेश्चन क्या है?
The van is 2.5 meters long, with wheels at a distance of 0.6 from the front and 0.4 from the rear.
हाँ,
What is the horizontal distance of the van's center of gravity from the front?
okay. So for this you'll have to find out that the clockwise moment is equal to anti-clockwise moment. Let's say that the distance at a distance x, क्योंकि they have asked, तू पीछे देखेगा तो मैं समझाऊं किसको भाई. Let's say the center of the gravity is at a distance x from the front wheel, है ना? So what will this distance be? This distance will be 1.500 minus x, है ना? Let's say my center of gravity, I'll take moment at the center of gravity. Can I say 16,000 into x is equal to 9,000 into 1.5 minus x, right? So 16,000x is equal to कितना हो जाएगा?
13.5 minus 9,000x.
4,
14,500.
correct. 13500 minus 9,000x, right? So what do I have? I have 7,000x is equal to 13,500. You take it here and subtract. Oh, 25,000. Correct. So x is equal to 13,500 upon 0.54 meter.
So एक doubt है.
हाँ.
आपने 1.5 minus x. So x is.
So let's say this is your center of
हमने imagine
gravity. Yes, it is a distance. It is a distance x from the front wheel. So it has to be 1.500 minus x from the rear wheel.
Sir, but बच्चे अगर आने आप 2.5 divided by 2 करे तो 1.25 minus 0.6 तो हमने x हमारे just
પણ એવું વચ્ચે જ છે એવું how are you so sure that it is exactly at the middle? Because this is a van, it can be loaded in any form. There are more weight towards the rear of the
answer
van.
is of the wheel ની પણ પહેલા છે center of gravity તો.
ना समझ में सर but
सर फिर स्नूकर बॉल वाला
आप कोई random video
हरे कृष्ण.
તું સ્નूकर बॉल દર વખતે પૂછેલા એકવાર જાતે બી કરી લે. Sujay, a car has a mass m, okay? A person needs to push the car with force F in order to give the car an acceleration A. Okay. Person needs to push the car with 2F. Okay. To give the acceleration 3A. What expression gives the constant resistive force opposing the motion of the car? Okay. So let's say there is a resistive force in the form of friction in both case, which is small f, है ना? So the force F minus small f is equal to ma, right? And 2f minus small f is equal to 3ma, right? So f is equal to 2f minus 3ma. What do you need to find?
resistive force
Resistive force, है ना?
constant resistive force
Let's suppose this here. So you have f minus 2f plus 3ma is equal to ma. तो वो खोटी इक्वेशन बनी जैसे. Let's minus, हाँ, plus let's say is equal to minus 2ma, right? So f is equal to 2ma.
हाँ.
F equals to 2ma.
कयो f? नानो f?
हाँ. No, not no, capital F, the force you need to give.
okay हाँ
ना હોય તો થોડું મારે ફિઝિક્સ
नानो F
નાનો f આપણે ફાઇન્ડ જ નહીં કરી શકીએ.
મોટો f constant છે
अरे
sir.
खाली
सर नानो F
values આપી જ નથી
હવે વેલ્યુ મૂકીને કરી શકે.
Sir, question એ તો આપણે નાનો આપણે constant resistive force શોધવાનો છે towards the.
Small f is also ma.
छोटा small f જ છે ને
हाँ मोटो f છે.
No, this is not small f, Devanshi.
फ्रिक्शन છે.
but अपन इतना फाइन अच्छा ना ना ना
This is minus f is equal to 0. Sorry. Is equal to minus 2ma and therefore f is equal to ma. Understandable?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, एक topic में doubt છે.
That it has turned. So the question is, this is the path of the particle v, right? Now something happened, right? And this is now v by 2, this is now v by 4, right? What is the value of angle theta?
तो v by 4 resultant में है वगैरह
The new velocity has a component v by 4 in the same direction as the initial path of the particle, right? कैसे find करेंगे? पता नहीं. v by 4 already component is also given, so अच्छा, you already have v by 2 and v by 4, so simply take क्या आएगा, base and hypotenuse, so cos theta, right, v by 4 upon v by 2, we cancelled, this goes up, so cos theta is equal to 1 by 2, cos is a decreasing function, so 60 degree.
So you are the now a graph out with on
हाँ
graph not
आना पर आइए, अब पकड़ी रहा था, थोड़ा समझाई दिया दे हमें. Is this understandable? So I think vectors, moments, momentum, हाँ, is it related to vectors, moment, momentum and motion? Yes. भाई इतना खराब कैसे हो सकता है कोई?
कौन सा पेपर?
Okay. So this is from some paper. The question says, acha, it's an MCQ also. Okay, the question says an astronaut on a moon where there is no air resistance throws a ball. The ball's initial velocity has a vertical component of 8 meters per second. It's given 8.00, right? The horizontal component of 4 meter per second, 4.00 they have given, right? As shown, the acceleration, क्या बोलते हैं इसको? What is it called? Acceleration, acceleration, acceleration. I'll call it acceleration of free fall on the moon is 1.62, right? So I'll take g is equal to 1.62 meters per second square. What will be the speed of the ball 9 seconds after being thrown? Okay, first what you should do is कि इसका horizontal velocity है ना, right? So what distance will not help us. First let's find out that what is its what time does it take to reach the top, है ना? That will at least tell us कि वो has it reached the top, is it coming back, it is still going, what is happening, है ना? So uh, v is equal to u minus gt, right? So this is 0, sorry, this is not 0, this is 8, this is 0 minus 1.62, so 8 upon 1.62 will give you the time in which it reaches the top. What time does it take? Does it take 4.5 seconds just or something?
4.93.
So the time taken to reach the top is 4.93 seconds.
4.94. 94.
4.94 seconds, right? So it is going to take longer than 9 seconds to again bounce back. So let's say if this was the trajectory of this ball, so to reach this point it takes greater than 9 seconds, है ना? So what can we find out, that after this is where at 4.9 seconds, 94 seconds, this is where the vertical component is 0, right? So vertical component being 0, horizontal component being
same
4, है ना? Because there is no air resistance on the moon, right? At 9th second, which is how many seconds? So 9 minus 4.94, how much is it? 4.06 seconds. Again use this equation, but in this equation you'll have plus, right? So v is equal to 1.62 multiplied by 4.06, right? Because the initial velocity is 0 in this case. So what is the velocity, the downward velocity at this point? Can someone tell me? Sorry? 6.6. Okay, 6.6, and then exact 6.6. So we'll take 6.57 meters per second. So this is 6.57 meters per second. You have to find this resultant, right? So 6.57 whole square plus 4, the whole thing
7.7.
under root 7.7 meters per second. Is this your answer? हाँ, नहीं नहीं, देख लो
7 है ना?
इतना सब करने के लिए
See, in the starting you take v is equal to u minus gt because gravity is downwards and your ball is moving upwards. But here The gravity is downwards, ball is also moving downwards.
तो આપણે 4.94 ઉપર જવાનો ટાઈમ શોધી દીધો પછી નીચે જવામાં કેટલો ટાઈમ
બાકીના કેટલા ટાઈમે 9 સેકન્ड्स થશે?
બાકી કેટલા ટાઈમ પર કેટલી વેલોસિટી છે
कितने मिनट लगे थे भाई? हाँ लाओ भाई, ये समझ में आ गया ना सबको? ओके, डाउट तुम्हारा था, समझ में आया ना? तू क्या ऐसे स्माइल कर रही सर? वैसे भी नहीं आ रहा, वैसे भी नहीं आ रहा, इज दैट व्हाट? पर ऐसा इतना डिफिकल्ट नहीं था दैट तुम लोग जितना बना रहे थे तीन मिलके कि सर आधा घंटा हो गया हमको तो सॉल्व. That is why I have already always said that AS में MCQ is difficult, because if this was a theory question you would get 3 marks, है ना? But थोड़ा unfair है. This is unfair.
तुक्का चांस में only 0.25 છે.
A cyclist pedals, no, but some like, अच्छा ये याद रखना कि IGCSE में ऐसा मेरे को प्रशील ने बोला था, पर मैंने ऐसा देखा कि C is the most often answer.
Yes, true.
है ना? नहीं आता है C.
4 से आया था मैंने.
Okay.
बस फिर कल में सी लिख के
टाइम नंबर तो बता बाकी 10 सी से लिख के देवाना. दो तो आ ही जाएंगे 4 में से.
Yes, Cambridge. बस. Cyclist pedals along a raised horizontal track. At the end of the track, he travels horizontally into the air. मतलब देखो ऐसा कुछ है, साइक्लिस्ट इधर से इधर जंप कर रहा है, ठीक है? कितना जंप कर रहा है? सिर्फ 2 meters. Okay. Now they are saying he travels a horizontal distance of 6 meters in the air. What is the horizontal of the cyclist at the end of the higher track? एक second, I am missing something. Cyclist pedals along the end of the track. He travels horizontally into the air and onto a track that is vertically 2 meters lower. Travels horizontal distance of 6 meters in the air. The air resistance is negligible. What is the horizontal velocity v of the cyclist at the end of the higher track?
At the end of the upper top per.
Huh.
Initial velocity.
They've not given velocity anywhere. I think that is what your question is, है ना? That they've not given any velocity anywhere, and then they are asking that ये कैसे होगा? So first what you will say for vertical motion, you will say that initial velocity is 0. The g is 9.8 meters per 81 meters per second square. So you will find out that what time does it take to fall, right? So s is equal to ut plus half gt square. So distance is 2 multiplied by 2 upon 9.81 square root is your t. So how much time does it take to fall?
Sir, use zeros.
U has to be 0 because he has no vertical velocity.
It starts on a normal.
0.64 seconds, right? So he travels 6 meters in 0.64 seconds. The distance upon time. Horizontally he has to cover the same distance in the same time. है ना? What is it?
9.4. 9.375.
9.37. So this is anti-clockwise. So 50 into 4. But because the answer is in meter, 50 into 0.04. है ना? This is clockwise. So minus, because I have taken anti-clockwise as positive. So minus 30 into 0.065.
68.
Sorry, 50 into 4 into 2 basically. 30 into 0.065 into 2, right? Minus. Then plus 16 into 0.01 0.1 into 2, right? And plus 25 into 2 into 0.12, right? This should give you your answer, I believe. ऐसा ही होना
तू
चाहिए.
क्या कर रही है?
अरे कारण के આપણે એક જ ફોર્સ
બંને સાઈડ થી ફરે છે.
Torque is equal to 2 times of force into the distance from the pivot.
અરે સર આપણે 50 લઈએ તો રેડિયસ લેવાય ને
ના
हाँ सारे 50 में से तो 4 is legs ना.
So see, look at this. If you say 50 into 4 minus 30 into 10 plus 16 into 30 into 6.5, 16 into 10 and 25 into 12, and then you'll have to look at this also.
Okay,
This
हाँ.
is also causing moments, right? है ना? Okay, are we done?
Yes, sir.
So page 31.
31. बोलो.
I got 21 only.
A rubber band is stretched. ओहो. हाँ. कोई और कुछ पूछ रहा था, कुछ बोल रहा था भाई. हाँ बोल. પાછા જઈએ, અહીંયાથી પાછા જઈએ, બરાબર, પેજ 3 પર. Rubber band is stretched and then relaxed to its original length. The diagram shows the force extension graph for this process. As the force increases, the curve follows the path OPQ to extension E. Extension, okay. As the force is reduced, the curve follows the path ORQRO to return to zero extension. The area labeled X is between the curves OPQ, okay. The area labeled Y is bounded by the curve and the horizontal axis. Which statement about this process is correct? Area A is the energy which heats the band as it is stretched to extension E. Not just extension, it is the energy wasted between stretching and coming back, right? So area X plus Y is the minimum energy required to stretch the band to extension E. Okay. Area X is the elastic potential energy stored. No. Area Y minus area X. Area Y is, where is area Y? Bounded by Q. Acha. Yes, mathematically incorrect. So I think option B is your answer.
yes
B for ball.
Area A is energy which heats the band as it is stretched to extension E, and A plus Y is minimum energy required to stretch the band to extension E.
maybe minimum ના કારણ કે
Ready?
Okay. So what are they trying to ask? देखो, I am confused. I don't know about you. I am confused between option A and B. Right? Area X is the energy which heats the band as it is stretched to extension E. Yes. This is the energy wasted basically. Right? It can be wasted in the form of heat energy, or it can be wasted in the form of sound energy or elastic, and somehow it is wasted, right? That is why it comes back through a different path. Area X plus area Y, this is QRO, right? Area Y is bounded by the QRO, so only this much is your area Y. So area X plus Y is the minimum energy required to stretch the band to extension E.
should be only area Y એ એનર્જી થી તો બસ થર્મલ પ્રોડ્યુસ થાય છે ને
हाँ,
ઇલાસ્ટિક
तो
પ્રોડ્યુસ
no, but see, if I don't use this much energy, it won't extend to this point, no?
પછી આમાંથી થર્મલ માં તો યુઝ થઈ જશે
Huh. So when it comes back, it does not gain back all the energy that it used in stretching. It uses something else. So, but I think because they've written minimum energy, it is the exact energy. Because every time if it follows this path, then it is not the minimum, it is the actual exact energy.
minimum board सीधा straight
I think possible. Yes, minimum would be a straight line. Because this is extra. It is not the minimum.
Why is it extra?
If this elastic, behaved perfectly elastic, and obeyed Hooke's law, then this straight line would be the minimum energy required to stretch this rubber band. Okay, ठीक है. Page number શું કેવું છે બકા? વેક્ટર.
वेक्टर ग्राफिक એટલે તમારે શું अरे पर फिर फोकस भी हो जाए.
अच्छा, वन पर 6 और 1 पर स्क्रॉल करके આ વાળો ક્વેશ્ચન સોરી.
हां सर 9 और 10 बदला.
શું વાત કરેલા? See, this question is not about forces, this question is about units. Okay, which of these 4 answers give you the force? ન્યૂટન માં કયો આન્સર આવે છે એ જોવાનું છે. Okay, so let's say so they are asking that when the jet of water hits, ये थोड़ा दिख ही रहा है ना, horizontal velocity v, area of cross sectional a, area of cross section, so this is meters per second, this is meter square, and the density is kg per meter cube, right? The water does not rebound from the wall. Okay, what is the force exerted on the wall by water? Now there must be another method to get the answer, right? But the easiest one is to find out homogeneity in the equation. What is force? Force is in Newton. Newton is kg meters per second square. Whichever of this is kg meters per second square is your answer. Okay, so this is kg meter cube multiplied by, what is this?
meters per second.
per meter cube ना minus 3
Sorry, per meter cube multiplied by
velocity
meters per second, उसको यहाँ पे ही लिख लेते ना,
-1
and area is
meter square.
wow. एक सेकेंड ना, मैं थोड़ा सा प्रॉपरली लिख लेता हूँ. So this will be kg, right? m raised to power minus 3 multiplied by m into s raised to power minus 1 multiplied by m raised to power minus 2, है ना? Does this give you a kg?
No.
It, because of this it will never be second square in denominator, right?
B पर नहीं था.
So you have kg meter raised to power minus 3 meter square second raised to power minus 2 into meter minus 2. This gets cancelled, but because minus cube रह जाता है, right? What will this be? kg नहीं था, કેમ नहीं था?
वेलोसिटी की स्क्वायर में નથી.
हाँ, तो D is your answer. Okay, let's look at the next question, right? I hope कि ये सेव ना हो जाए. हाँ, but why? Stationary firework explodes into 3 pieces. The masses and velocities of the 3 pieces immediately after explosion are shown. What are the velocities v1 and v2? So the momentum should be cancelled out basically. The momentum in this direction should be equal to the momentum in this direction. So I must write that v1 times of 50 upon 1000 into v1 times of vertical is sine, right? Sine 60 plus again 50 upon 1000 v2 times of sine 60 should be equal to 8 into
0.1.
1 upon, sorry, 100 upon 1000, right? This you will get the first equation from here, because there is no horizontal momentum as well, so I should be able to write v1 into 50 upon 1000 multiplied by cos 60 is equal to v2 into 50 upon 1000 into cos 60. This will mean that v1 equals to v2. From here v1 equals to v2, keep v1 here, and therefore you will easily find V1 and hence V2, right? But I think there are 3 answers that can be correct. 4 answers. All 4 of them are equal only, right? Chalo, next. ના અહીંયાથી જે આન્સર આવે ગેસ નહીં થાય. ઓપ્શન જોઈને હું એવું નહીં કરી શકું that okay a option there are 2 different answers, so I cannot cancel it out, है ना? डिडक्शन नहीं था, कैलकुलेशन જ થશે. चलो next. Okay, so there is this circuit where there is a battery of 15 volt, right? There is a resistor P and a resistor Q. P is 12 ohm. Okay, they have asked you to find the value of Q, which you have found out 1.5. Okay, then they have asked determine the ratio the average drift speed of the charge carrier in P and the drift speed of charge carrier in Q. For that you'll have to find out the current that passes through P and Q. To do that we have to find the resistance, है ना? Resist resistor है. Okay, so first I need to find out that what is the equivalent resistance of this arrangement, which is so this is 3 by 4 and therefore R is equal to 4 by 3. Okay, which is चलो 4 by 3 इसको रहने देते हैं, है ना? The total resistance is 4 by 3. Then you will need to find out what is the current in this circuit. So current in this circuit is V is equal to IR. So I is equal to 15 into 3 by 4, 11.25 ampere of current, right? Now we need to find out I is equal to NAVE. પણ મોદી આમાં તો એરિયા બી અલગ છે ને બેઉમાં.
હા એનો પહેલાનો ક્વેશ્ચન આપણે ડાયામીટર આપ્યું છે એ પહેલાના ક્વેશ્ચનમાં
કયો
ઓબવિયસલી એરિયા અલગ છે
કઈક તો ક્વેશ્ચન છે.
હા એ જ છે બહુ ખતરનાક ગણ પણ આવે છે યાદ નથી આવતું થઈ ગયું છે
Okay, let's solve it also. પણ એમાં કઈ હવે બાકી નથી જે હું જોઈ શકું. Just let me know what is the diameter of this P.
તો મને અલગ વાયર
Diameter of P is
diameter of P is D
and the diameter of Q is
2D અને P ની લેન્થ 2L છે અને Q ની લેન્થ L છે.
okay. So from here V is equal to I upon NAE, right? Drift velocity in Q is also equal to I, let's say IP AP upon NAQE, right? Let's take a Kanish जागे जन multiplied by NAQE upon IQ, right?
Yes.
So number of charge carriers we are already taken the area.
Yes.
So number of charge carriers and this can be cancelled out, right? I need to find out the value of IP by IQ. Can we do that? From this we can, right? The total resistance is 4 by 3, है ना? So basically what is the ratio between, I think yes, once we have found out the current, right, what can I say? That 12, not just 12 parts, just a second.
કેટલા માર્ક્સ છે રિયાના
4 નો છે ને
3 કે તો 4 માર્ક્સ 3 માર્ક્સ
3 માં
क्या है
कैसे
तो कि वो सेम चीज रेजिस्टेंस का होगा ना
रेजिस्टेंस का उल्टा होगा ना.
हाँ तो 1.5 अपॉन 12
हाँ no 1.5 upon 13.5 into 11.25 करना पड़ेगा ना, टोटल का पार्ट होगा.
So 1.5 is
less current will pass through here because it is greater resistance.
तो अपन 12 होगा ना
अपॉन 12 थोड़ी होगा, टोटल होगा ना, टोटल होगा ना.
so resistance of q upon total resistance into current
हाँ,
सब सीरीज में क्या है 13.5
तो डिवाइड होगा ना वही.
हाँ
तो टोटल करंट कितना होगा? 13.5 parts of current will be there, out of which just 1.5 parts will pass through here because it is greater resistance. Current passes through lower resistance, है ना?
Yes.
What is the ratio?
1.25
1.5 upon 13.5. So this is 1.25, right? So can I say 10 ampere? So the division is 1.25 ampere and 10 ampere, है ना? So total is 11.25. If 1.25 goes in one resistor, the other resistor must have 10 ampere of current. So what is IP? P is greater. So 1.25 into area. Pi by 4 will get cancelled. What is the diameter? The diameter is d square multiplied by 4d square upon what is the value of IQ? 10. D square gets cancelled. 1.25 into 4 is 5. This is 0.5.
हाँ ना सर याद नहीं जोई लो इसका
आ कही दी तू आने.
अरे मेरे को 1.2 आया तो ना करेक्ट है नहीं.
देख लो भाई, देख लो, देख लो. आज गलत हो जाएगा फिर घर जाके डिफिकल्ट कितना होगा मेरे लिए समझाना, है ना?
चलिए भाई बोलना
આપણે તો અભી સુખી છીએ, એ લોકો બિચારા
वही बोला था
ભીડમાં બેઠા છે.
1.5 upon 12 खाली ना वो पूरा बेसिकली 1.5 upon 12 ऐसा बोल रहा है IP upon I
हाँ, करेक्ट करेक्ट. ओ राइट, ये भी कर सकते हैं भाई. क्रिश एक शॉर्टकट दे रहा है विच आई शुड हैव थॉट ऑफ बट बिकॉज आई डिड नॉट. तो फिर से बता देता हूँ. देखो, what is Krish saying that we don't need to do this, we don't need to do this. What when we can simply do is, because the resistance is in ratio 12 and 1.5, है ना? The current, the parts of current going here is 1.5 and this will be 12. So instead of writing 1.25 and 10, even if I write 1.5 and 12, है ना? Is this understandable?
हाँ 0.5
6 upon 12.
और रेजिस्टेंस का रेशियो हुआ है करंट भी बढ़ जाएगा
Right, we could have done this and we could have skipped this part. तो 2 मिनट और सेव हो जाएंगे, है ना? मोस्ट प्रोबेबली तो 2 मिनट हो ही जाएंगे, राइट? अगर ऐसा याद नहीं रहता तो ऐसा याद कर लो कि बिकॉज V is equal to IR and when V is constant, I is inversely proportional to R. So IP upon IQ is equal to RQ upon RP. ऐसा कर दो. लो खुश થઈ ગયો કે આ મારો વારો ને.
तो पेज नंबर 15
Shall we? ભાઈ કંટ્રોલ નહીં રહી રહ્યો. જવું છે તારે, જવું છે ભાઈ? लेना है 5-10 मिनट का ब्रेक लेना है ऐसा लग रहा है.